the Ukrainian Defense Minister, Oleksiy Reznikov, in an interview on August 19, addressed his tenure and stated, "This is not an ideal job for me, and I do not have political ambitions." This response implies his readiness to leave the position. Rumors circulating in the public about Zelensky's intention to replace the Minister of Defense have transitioned from theoretical to the practical. What are the drivers behind this move? Hello, welcome to the Curiosity Club. Here we will explore all the things that intrigue our curiosities. By the end of January this year, there were rumors that Reznikov would leave his position as Minister of Defense and transfer to the Ministry of Industrial Strategy. The position would then be taken over by the head of the Ukrainian Defense Intelligence Agency, Budanov. The catalyst for this change was an exposed corruption scandal. An exposé from the Ukrainian news website ZN.ua revealed last week that the Defense Ministry purchased overpriced food supplies for its troops. For instance, the ministry bought eggs at 17 hryvnias per piece, while the average price of an egg in Kiev is around 7 hryvnias. According to ZN.ua, a contract for food procurement for soldiers in 2023 amounted to 13.16 billion hryvnias, that is €328 million. According to ZN.ua, a contract for food procurement for soldiers in 2023 amounted to 13.16 billion hryvnias, that is €328 million. This incident adds to the well-known corruption and misconduct within the Ukrainian government. The specific official responsible for logistics procurement has already resigned, but this situation also raises questions about whether Reznikov should be held accountable for this behavior. This corruption scandal can be considered just a starting point. The real reason behind Zelensky's mind to replace the Minister of Defense might be related to someone being held accountable for the failure of Ukraine's summer counteroffensive. Initially, the counteroffensive was planned to be launched in the spring of this year. However, due to delays in some military assistance from Europe and the United States, it was postponed to begin in June. As of now, it has been underway for 3 months. But how has the situation on the ground progressed? Let's take a look at the map. The current conflict is primarily concentrated in the southeastern part of Ukraine. The pink-colored area represents the territories occupied by Russia, while the purple-colored area indicates the regions that Ukraine reclaimed after its counteroffensive. It's evident that Ukraine's progress in its counteroffensive has been quite limited. Russia still maintains control over nearly 1/5 of Ukraine's territory, including key areas like Donetsk and Mariupol. Some analysts suggest that the slow progress of the Ukrainian counteroffensive can be attributed to several factors. Firstly, Ukraine's counteroffensive has encountered very hard fortifications from Russia. The Russian forces spent several months in advance constructing intricate layers of anti-tank defenses. As you look at the map to gain a better understanding, the small red circles represent Russian defensive strongholds. It's evident that the defensive line stretches from the southern to the northern parts of the front line, a situation reminiscent of what was observed only during World War II. Secondly, even though Ukraine received substantial financial support from NATO members, including funding for military personnel training and various advanced weapons, when the counteroffensive began, many Ukrainian soldiers had training experience but lacked actual battlefield experience. And even with all this Western equipment and training, Ukraine has struggled to conduct combined arms operations, that is, using all of its military systems and platforms together on a large scale. Many media have described this counteroffensive as progressing slowly. And even officials from the Pentagon openly stated to the media that Ukraine's counterattack has only gained a few hundred meters of progress. This is indeed a substantial pressure for Ukraine, considering it can't afford to lose the trust from NATO members. Will there be sufficient support in terms of funds and weapons in the future? Faced with such concerns, Ukraine will inevitably need to make adjustments in terms of tactics and personnel. It's rumored that there are 2 candidates being considered for the position of Minister of Defense. One is the current Deputy Prime Minister Alexander Kubrakov, who is currently responsible for the restoration of Ukraine. The other candidate is Alexander Kamyshin, the current Minister for Strategic Industries of Ukraine. There are reports that Reznikov will be reassigned as the Ukrainian ambassador to the United Kingdom. Okay, that's it. As for the actual situation and future developments, we'll have to wait and see.